Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just before we officially begin this morning's proceedings, in keeping with COVID-19 protocols, all participants are expected or required specifically to wear their masks. Thank you. All right. In all things, we acknowledge the presence of God, and so we'd like to invite to the podium at this time Mr. Kelly Cyrus to lead us in prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Could you all stand, please? Heavenly Father God, we just want to invite your presence here this morning. We just thank you for bringing us here safe. As we go through the road show today, God, we just ask you, God, that you just give us mercies, give us all your mercies, God, give us the wisdom, give us the strength that we can carry through this session today, God. God, we just thank you for the Ozone unit, God. We just bring them before you. Just ask you that you may continue to give them the wisdom so they can have more of these road shows, so we can have awareness to the public of what is happening and where they can find green cooling and other issues in relation to green financing and so forth. God, we just thank you and we invite your presence here this morning. In all things, give you thanks. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cyrus. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Grenada.
To thee, heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny, ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage. May we with faith and courage aspire, build, advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Government officials present and virtual, GIZ officials present and virtual, officials of other collaborating organizations who are with us virtually, staff of the Energy Division, Ozone Unit and GIZ, participating companies, specially invited guests who are with us virtually, members of the media who are with us virtually, our virtual audience all together. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kenroy Batiste. Welcome to the virtual Green Cooling Technology Roadshow and World Ozone Day Celebrations 2020. We're live at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to give you a sense of today, of course, being World Ozone Day, which is usually observed on the 16th of September each year. It is celebrated to spread awareness among people about the depletion of the ozone layer and search for possible solutions to preserve it. Ozone for life, 35 years of ozone layer protection is the theme for World Ozone Day 2020. Ozone for Life reminds us that the ozone is crucial for life here on Earth, and we must continue to protect the ozone layer for future generations. The ozone layer is a part of the atmosphere that has high ozone concentrations, Ozone is a gas specifically that is made of 3 oxygen atoms, O3. Depending on where the ozone layer is, it can either harm life or protect life here on Earth. Most of the ozone stays within the stratosphere, whereby it acts as a shield protecting the surface of the Earth from the harmful ultraviolet radiation of the sun. And just one other thing we want you to take note of. Should this shield weaken, we would all be most susceptible to impaired immune systems, cataracts, and skin cancer. So no doubt the exercise today is a lot of information, education, and I want to say inspiration at the same time. But at this juncture, I invite to the fore to deliver some remarks on behalf of the GIZ. Please welcome Ms. Marion Geese.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Welcome especially to all our participants here virtually and present here in the room. A warm welcome especially to the National Ozone Unit within the Energy Division, and to all our partners who joined in. Let's make cooling green. So what's green cooling? So most devices keep our beverages, or most cooling devices keep our beverages or our rooms cool. They make it very pleasant for us, for our lifestyle, for our well-being. They keep us healthy, they keep us in a good space. We rely on functional cold chains to keep our food, that we, especially the ones that we're importing, refrigerated and cooled. But the numbers in the world and in Grenada of cooling appliances are rising. And that comes at a cost. So all our well-being here is supported by energy, by electricity consumption, by the use of refrigerants, which some of them are highly harmful to our climate. We have succeeded in phasing down already the ozone depleting substances. What by that we have phased in a lot of the harmful refrigerants for the climate. So every minute we switch on an AC, we contribute to global warming. So green cooling is a way of mitigating these effects, of using technology and technology systems that are available and less harmful to our environment. So with the use of energy efficient and environmentally friendly natural refrigerants, we compromise in preserving environment with the need for our well-being. Today is International Ozone Day, actually the 35th in the world. This is the ideal opportunity to speak about green cooling. Ozone protection is closely linked with cooling and with climate protection. While the world has successfully phased down ozone-depleting refrigerants and flame-blowing agents, we have more to do when it comes to increasing our energy efficiency and using less harmful gases, like natural refrigerants. A refrigerant technician nowadays is an expert in a lot of fields. She or he knows how to handle flammable refrigerants safely, how to increase energy efficiency in technology, and understands the importance of leakage reduction. Grenada, in the last few years, through the National Ozone Unit, our partner, has invested a lot of resources in training these technicians and these skill sets to make Grenada ready for better and green cooling technology. The demand for skilled labor in the cooling sector is rising globally, in Grenada, in the region, and in the world. And I encourage every young person that is interested in technology to consider a career in green cooling. It's a very future market, on a future career to explore that is sustainable. This project, the so-called SPOTS project, Sustainable and Climate-Friendly Phase-Out of Ozone-Depleting Substances, is financed by the German Ministry for Development and the European Union. GIZ is working alongside the National Ozone Unit in the ministry that is responsible for energy in Grenada to transform the refrigeration air conditioning sector to a more sustainable sector. Our main focus is to equip the technicians with the skill set and the know-how to work with natural refrigerants, which are flammable, but also to look at leakage reduction and energy efficiency. Furthermore, the project focuses on awareness raising, such as we do today. This roadshow is part of it, but there will be more to come, and we're looking forward in the future to focus more on bringing the relevant information to the public and to the necessary multipliers or advocates for green cooling in Grenada. I wish you all a very successful event, and very curious about all the input that's coming from our different participants. Thank you very much. So just please allow me just to also make a little announcement. We have had the opportunity to work the last year together under the co-contribution Fighting Climate Change program with the National Ozone Unit and stakeholders in Grenada, including people working on servicing, people being selling AC and refrigeration equipment here on the island. And we came up with a very comprehensive report on data, on energy consumption, on refrigerant use, and on potential technologies also to address the rising greenhouse gas emission in Grenada from the refrigeration air conditioning sector. And one of the key messages I want to share with you, and I would like to ask Leslie as well to come over. So Leslie, thank you very much for working with us on that for the past year. And I think we can surely say that now with this report that we jointly developed, we have found out that about 1/3 of Grenada's greenhouse gas emissions stemming from refrigerant use and energy consumption is related to the cooling sector. And I think together we are committed to working in the future on addressing that and supporting or continue supporting Grenada in the green cooling pathway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Marion Gies, and of course for that symbolic handover there of the emissions report to Mr. Leslie Smith. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we invite now your attention to the screen ahead of you. We have remarks by Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister for Infrastructure Development, Public Utilities, Energy, Transport, and Implementation. Please direct your attention forward.
September 16th, 2020 marks the 35th anniversary of the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. This day has been declared by the United Nations General Assembly as the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer, more often referred to as World Ozone Day. The 2020 celebration is being held under the theme Ozone for Life, 35 years of ozone layer protection. The Montreal Protocol has been regarded as the most successful multilateral environmental agreement, MEA, on record, having successfully phased out the production and the consumption of approximately 99% of all ozone-depleting substances, ODS. This result is impressive in many regards and is a clear demonstration that collective decisions and actions by governments that is guided by science and coordinated by industry can work together to solve major global environmental crises. Thanks to the Montreal Protocol, the ozone layer is on a path to recovery and is expected to return to pre-1980 levels by the middle of this century, 2050. In recent years, the refrigeration and air conditioning sector in Grenada has experienced significant growth. The growing demand for air conditioning and refrigeration is driven by the country's steady economic growth, moderate population growth, and the rise in global atmospheric temperatures caused by climate change. As a result, the refrigeration and air conditioning sector has been responsible for over 40% of the total electricity produced and contributes to approximately 29% of the total greenhouse gas emissions in the country. With approximately 97% of the total electricity being generated from petroleum-based diesel, this trend has serious implications for the country's energy security and environmental preservation. Hence, a large greenhouse gas mitigation potential lies in transitioning from highly climate-damaging refrigerants and inefficient equipment to alternatives with low global warming potential and improved energy efficiency. The government of Grenada has demonstrated its full commitment to this global cause. In this regard, Grenada was amongst the earliest ratifiers of the historic Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol for the phase down of hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HCFs, the 37th country out of a total of 197 parties to the protocol to have done so. With the entry into force of the Kigali Amendment on January 1st, 2019, Grenada has already made giant steps and instituted several measures towards undertaking this new challenge. Among them are the establishment of labeling standards for refrigerant containers and a code of practice to address the safe use, handling, transportation, and the storage of refrigerants, including flammable refrigerants. The establishment of a Center of Excellence and a regional training hub at the T.A. Maricho Community College for training and capacity development of refrigeration and air conditioning technicians in alternative low global warming potential technologies. Being the first country in the Caribbean region to have commercially available the ultra-low GWP, energy efficient R290 hydrocarbon unitary air conditioning systems for sale. The completion of a comprehensive greenhouse gas emissions inventory of the refrigeration and air conditioning sector with specific mitigation actions to assist the country in meeting its nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. A comprehensive review of policies and legislation and the strategic gap analysis report for the refrigeration and air conditioning sector, and the establishment of a green cooling communication strategy. Additionally, there are a number of other measures that are in advanced stages of development and are expected to be established in the year 2021. These include the development of a national cooling action plan, the establishment of energy efficiency labeling and minimum energy performance standards for the refrigeration and air conditioning sector, the implementation of the harmonized system customs classification codes for the disaggregation of all refrigerants. While we may be gratified by these impressive achievements, it is important that we do not become complacent until we are assured that the ozone layer has achieved full recovery. This will require a collaborative effort between government, the private sector, industry, academia, and civil society organizations. It is with the greatest pleasure that as Minister with responsibility for the National Ozone Unit, I extend the best wishes to all involved in the International Ozone Day celebrations 2020, and to further encourage you to work towards preserving, protecting, and enhancing our fragile environment. Protect the ozone layer. Save lives on Earth. Ozone for life. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Gregory Bowen, who of course joined us virtually. Right, protect the ozone layer, save life here on Earth. This is literally one of the narratives of all of what's happening, and so we encourage you to always work in that regard to ensure that there is protection of the ozone layer. A number of companies have been invited to present here today as part of this session. This event would literally be incomplete without, of course, their participation. And so we'll hear from all of them today. Of course, there are representatives of these companies joining us today. The first company, of course, we'd hear from is Cooling Tech Limited. And I want to give you a background of this entity so that you can have an appreciation for the extraordinary work being undertaken by management and staff there. Cooling Tech Limited, founded in December 2006, the company is a premier provider of air conditioning, refrigeration, and energy management solutions. The company prides itself on providing high-quality services driven by commitment to provide energy-efficient and climate-friendly solutions. Cooling Tech is located on Dusty Highway, St. George. Ladies and gents, the first company to present today, Cooling Tech Limited. And of course, we'd like to welcome, quite literally, the representative of Cooling Tech, Ms. Walcott.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeannie Walcott. I'm the Sales and Marketing Representative for Cooling Tech Limited. I must say it's an absolute pleasure to be here and to share this forum with persons that wish to accomplish a goal that we in Cooling Tech have made our main focus for several years. Today, I'll be making a brief presentation on who we are, what we offer, and the measures that we've put in place to help make cooling as green as possible in Grenada. About Cooling Tech. Cooling Tech was established in 2006. We are the premier solutions provider for carrier commercial and residential air conditioning systems, refrigeration, and energy management solutions. We provide energy efficient and environmentally friendly products to ensure a greener Grenada and wider Caribbean region. What we do, we design, supply, install, and provide after-sales services. Our installations cover residential, commercial, hospitality, institutional, industrial, and educational. Our team is comprised of 38 factory-trained technicians and 2 engineers. Our refrigerant of choice is the environmentally friendly R32 refrigerant for several reasons. The first being it has zero ozone depleting potential and has only 1/3 of R410A's global warming potential. This refrigerant requires less charge, so the system uses less refrigerant, therefore reducing operational cost. It is a single component gas, which makes for easier production and management. We stock and supply carrier R32 units ranging from 9 to 12K in our Platinum and 9 to 24K in our Ventus residential high-wall units, 18 to 55K in our 1-to-1 split systems, and our multi-split fan coils from 9 to 24K and condensers from 18 to 42K, all of which are Eurovent certified. Here we have our Platinum unit. Both of our residential high-wall air conditioning R32 systems have proven to be energy efficient and technologically advanced, ensuring excellent value for money and lower operational cost. For example, our Carrier X-Power Platinum unit features an intelligent eye, which when activated can locate your presence in the room and either blow conditioned air towards or away from you based on your preference. Once you vacate the room, the unit will power off after 30 minutes. This unit carries an energy label of A+++, which signifies the highest level of energy efficiency that translates into savings on your home cooling cost. The Platinum unit is also Wi-Fi active, therefore allowing for remote access while on the go using your smartphone or tablet. The energy efficiency rating, or EER, on this unit ranges up to 5.18 watts to watts, which is the electrical wattage the unit uses to achieve its cooling output. Its seasonal energy efficiency ratio, or SEER, is up to 31.7, which translates to greater energy efficiency and savings. Secondly, we have our Carrier X-Power Ventus unit, which has similar features to that of the X-Power Platinum, like the Follow Me mode, which allows the remote to act as a thermostat, adjusting the cooling to the temperature needed wherever the remote is located, therefore extending the unit's cooling range, and is also Wi-Fi compatible. This unit carries an energy label of A++, an EER of up to 3.46 watts to watts, and a SEER rating of 24.6 BTU watts per hour. Our 1-to-1 split systems also carry an energy label of A++, and have an EER of up to 3.66 watts to watts and a SEER of up to 21 BTU watts per hour. Green Choice. Cooling Tech's largest contribution to the environment is through our Green Choice program. At the time, we were the first and only known company in Grenada and the Caribbean region to introduce an environmentally friendly program. Green Choice was introduced in 2010 to help phase out R22 equipment and replace them with what was at the time the newer, more environmentally friendly R410A air conditioning systems. In 2019, when we introduced the R32 units, the Green Choice program was extended to include changeouts from R410A to R32. The initiative provides customers with a rebate of $200 per ton, and in 2014, Cooling Tech won the GCIC Business Award for Environmental Excellence. The future of green cooling with Cooling Tech. Now, our aim is to make green and efficient cooling accessible to all customers. On a commercial level, we will be introducing the R4513A and R454B refrigerant. The R454B refrigerant is a mixture of HFO and HFC gases. It has lower toxicity and lower flammability, and is composed of 68.9% R32 refrigerant with a global warming potential of 465.38, and most importantly, has zero ozone depleting potential. Cooling Tech's latest collaboration with BASE is Cooling as a Service. The initiative demands no upfront investment and low operational cost, therefore providing risk-free access to the most energy-efficient and environmentally friendly equipment by way of a pay-per-use model. On a residential level, Cooling Tech offers limited contracts to customers that meet company requirements, ensuring that persons have access to environmentally friendly equipment by instituting a payment plan which they can afford. At this time, we are eagerly seeking partnership with financial institutions to aid in making environmentally friendly and energy-efficient cooling accessible to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Walcott, representing, of course, Cooling Tech Limited. We move on now. Just to give you a heads up, later on, of course, once all of the companies have presented, we'll have an interactive session to get feedback, of course, questions from the virtual audience. You'll be able to WhatsApp us. You'll also be able to, of course, connect with us via Zoom. Don't forget your questions, even your comments relative to the session today. The next company is Green's Concept. I want to give you a sense of this entity before the presenter comes forward. Green's Concept, founded in March of 2019, the company is a leading provider of affordable, high efficient, and most importantly, climate-friendly air conditioning systems. The company provides free delivery island-wide, talk about that, and free servicing for at least 1 year. Green's Concept is located in Snell Hall, St. Patrick. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the fore the next presenter, Mr. Kelly Cyrus, representing Green's Concept.
Good morning again. As Mr. Bob said, my name is Kelly Cyrus. I'm actually the managing director of Green's Concept. He gave a small synopsis of the company a while ago, but just to reinforce, the company was established in 2019 to fulfill the need of highly efficient, climate-friendly, and air-conditioned systems in Grenada and the region. I think actually I can make a boast here that we were the first company to introduce the R290 units in Grenada. The first environmental issue with cooling sector was the impact of the ozone layer through the use of hollow carbon refrigerants, chlorofluorocarbons. Now, most of these units were phased out, but they were replaced by other using hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, which do not affect the ozone layer, but have a greenhouse potential of sometime over 14,000 times that of carbon dioxide. Cooling devices also using lots of energy, estimated by Grenlec in Grenada, as alluded to earlier on, is about 40%. This, coupled with a worldwide increase in cooling product demand, has tremendous impact on global warming. The vision of Green's Concept: to be the leading distributor of the most energy efficient and climate-friendly air-conditioned units in Grenada and the Caribbean. The mission is to conduct business with honesty and integrity and to develop a sustainable, mutually beneficial relationship with our clients and suppliers. Our units. Our units are manufactured by Godrej and Boyce from India. They are powered by R290, energy efficient, and environmentally friendly. They're 40% more efficient than air conditioning systems using R410 as a refrigerant. So I know you're thinking, Godrej, you haven't heard about Godrej, but Godrej has been around since 1897, actually. The business forayed into the lock business and branched off into home appliances, and now they're also into the aerospace business. So they have a long history of manufacturing and innovation. Godrej has a global customer base of 1.1 billion customers, 4.1 billion in revenue, and in 2005 launched the first inverter AC in India. 2012, R290 refrigerant was introduced in India in collaboration with the German Federal Ministry, resulting in the launch of Godrej Green range of air conditioners. Just have a chart here showing refrigerant comparison, ozone depletion potential, and global warming potential. So the R290, it's really dark at the moment in terms of the color, but you can see the R290 has 0 depletion, ozone depletion potential, and 20% global warming potential, as compared to the R32, which has also 0 ozone depletion potential, but has a global warming potential of 716. R410A, 0 ozone depletion potential, but global warming potential of 2,100. And R22, which has been phased out, is 0% ozone depletion potential and global warming potential of 1,790. So from the chart, you can see that R290, which is the refrigerant which is currently being used in our systems, has a very low global warming potential and 0 ozone depleting potential. Some of the features of our systems. Silver ion filter controls, which controls microbes, growth, and bacteria, viruses, fungi, and spores. Got a turbo cooling, which if you want to cool the room fast, we can touch the turbo cooling on your system, and that will cool the room very fast. There's an eco mode. The compressor will run in a power-saving mode, resulting in about 25% less power consumption. Active carbon deodorizer eliminates odors and deactivates other harmful gases. In our system, there are 3 BLDC motors, which are ultra efficient, generates less noise, attains higher speeds. So these are just some of the features of our units. So in front of you, you have some actual performance results of R290 systems in Grenada. The data shown, let me just give you a backdrop. The data shown was collected from an 18,000 BTU unit, 5.2 kilowatts, using R410A, and the service is a first aid room required to run constantly. So from the figures, you can see that the previously installed unit, the R410A, the total energy consumption over 25 days was 466.08. Okay? Compare that to the R290, which was 237.11. In terms of the CO2 emissions, R410A, 293.63. In terms of the R290, 149.38. You have a look, I know most people are concerned about costs and the impact on your pocket. If you look at the running cost of the R410A over that period of 25 days, that was $442.78, as compared to the R290 of $225.25. So you see the savings that can be derived from installing a R290 system. The savings of 49.13%. Total savings in terms of running costs, $217.52. Based on this example, you can see that the R290 system outperformed the R410A. In conclusion, because I have a short time this morning, I just want to say that R290 systems are a sustainable option for Grenada with the ozone and climate-friendly refrigerant properties. In addition, they show a tremendous potential for the energy and cost savings when compared to the previously installed units using fluorinated carbons. So, in conclusion, R290, the way to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Cyrus. One thing is for sure, Grenada is making a very good effort relative to green cooling technology. And we want to encourage the companies here and even those who are thinking about embarking on that path to literally come forward and support the environment in that regard. And of course, I note there your slogan, "We cool you and our environment," Green's concept. We move on to the next presenter, and that entity is known as Modern Electrical Solution. A background to that entity: founded in December 2012, Modern Electrical Solution is dedicated to making Grenada a greener place through the installation of solar PV systems and eco-friendly air conditioning systems. Modern Electrical Solution is located in Snuck Corner, St. George. Well, talk about that. Let's invite now the next presenter, Mr. Javid Mitchell, representing Modern Electrical Solution. So in just a moment, we'll see, of course, a presentation there from Modern Electrical Solution. And so we'd like to invite you to focus your attention forward on the screen. Once again, if you're just tuning in, you are a part of the virtual Green Cooling Technology Roadshow and World Ozone Day Celebrations 2020. We're live at the Grenada Trade Center Annex in Montrouge. So thank you so very much. Of course, we're into this part of the session relative to companies presenting what they've been doing, what they've been offering to the society relative to
efficient
green cooling
R290 and
technology.
R.
And of course, later on, you'll have an opportunity to interact with us, get your WhatsApp questions
Good morning,
in.
everyone. I'm Javid Mitchell from Modern Electrical Solutions. I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to be here today to present to you our product lineup of eco-friendly air conditioning systems.
So I like to begin by first stating the problem. So the problem is that we are rapidly burning through our resources and polluting our atmosphere. And to be frank, if our lifestyle continues this way, the consequences of global warming would only worsen. The solution. To aid with the problem of global warming, we at Modern Electrical Solutions are offering a line of eco-friendly, energy-efficient R290 and R32 air conditioning systems to the residents of the Tri-Island State, Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, and to the entire Caribbean region. Our R32 units boast powerful cooling, a ozone depletion potential of 0, and a low global warming potential of only 675, all while using 20% less refrigerant than its 410A counterpart, thus making it more efficient, which equals less carbon emissions and lower energy costs. So it can only get better from here, because our R290 units also boast powerful cooling and energy efficiency, but it brags an ozone depletion potential of 0 and a global warming potential of only 3. Some key features to mention about our units is that they offer an antimicrobial self-cleaning function, powerful cooling, power-saving modes, anti-dust filters, precise cooling, silent operations, active carbon filtering, an antibacterial filter, a turbo mode for fast cooling, and a dry mode for dehumidifying. The units are coated with an anti-corrosive coating to prevent rust and corrosion. Lastly, our R290 units have the lowest global warming potential of only 3. So just to go a bit more in depth on some of the features of the unit. So the units are coated with an anti-corrosive coating. So this is a special coating that protects the units from rust and corrosion. The unit has been tested by the manufacturers and passed 4,000 hours of salt spray testing, so which therefore means that the unit is perfect for the harsh Caribbean climate. Let's talk about power filter. Helps remove the units are equipped with pollen, a twin rotary inverter compressor, which means that ensures that passive cooling is cool while saving the exact temperature that you set on the remote. In addition to the anti-dust filter covered previously, the unit also features an active carbon filter that catches and filters dust mites, cigarette smoke, and other common pollutants. It also features an antibacterial filter that helps trap airborne contaminants including pollen and bacteria. Here are some pictures of some installations completed thus far by our trained and competent staff. So in this picture, you can see that the condenser coil of the unit is gold fin coated to protect it from rust and corrosion. So this is an image showing you of how you can expect your completed installation to look. In addition to providing customers with eco-friendly, energy-efficient cooling solutions, we also provide after-sales support in the event you have any problems, questions, or concerns. We offer installation within Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We're also able to export units wherever you may be situated, and we offer maintenance packages to have your unit serviced monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, or yearly. Thank you for having me today. Please feel free to give us a call if you have any questions or if you're ready to join the green community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell. Javid Mitchell, representing Modern Electrical Solution. You know, I'm noting the residential, commercial, and industrial applications of all of these entities so far. Their provisions for various sectors of the society, and we strongly appreciate that. We can move on now to the next presenting entity, and that entity is SPs International. I remember my conversations with Mr. Sebastian Paul. Of course, he is now deceased, and the vision, the dreams, and all of that for the organization. And so I am not surprised at all that the company has made a lot of strides in that department. Founded in January 1997, SPs International is a main supplier of natural refrigerants for home, commercial, and automotive air conditioning, as well as refrigerators, freezers, and coolers. SPs International, located on Melville Street and Springs in St. George. Ladies and gents, please welcome the next presenter, specifically Mr. O'Neill Peters.
Let me say a special good morning to everyone participating here today, and for, of course, those of you who are viewing virtually. I also want to give special greetings to the team, who I'm sure is viewing right now at the office, particularly our CEO, Ms. Alicia Paul. Special thank you for this honor and this opportunity to make this presentation. I'm also happy to be among, these distinguished companies, and we see that they are presenting more on the AC units. And the SPs International, as you've heard, been in business, established since 1997. And we've come a long way in, making our stamp and playing our part in ensuring that we provide climate-friendly products in the form of refrigerants. And so my presentation here this morning will be about the refrigerants, and of course we are carrying through with the theme Ozone for Life, 35 years of ozone layer protection, and our sub-theme here this morning that we are continuing to supply, being a retailer and of course being a major distributor. All right, so my objective here this morning is to highlight what we currently sell and to introduce our newest refrigerant to be made available by the end of September. Who we currently target, we have the consumer use, domestic refrigerators, and of course the automotive market. And of course we also supply to supermarkets in terms of who we target, supermarkets, government buildings, offices, etc. So we want to highlight here today the R134 refrigerant, and that's the 12-ounce can. Most of you would know of this particular refrigerant. It's been around for quite a long time. It's used in most vehicle AC systems. As a matter of fact, the R134A refrigerant came into existence in the year 1994. And it's over 20 years now that this particular refrigerant is used in vehicles. The 12-ounce can meets the EPA's self-sealing valve requirements. You will see more of that in the next slide. And it can also be offered with UV dye for speedy, accurate leak detection. All right, so currently we stock the R134 refrigerant with the self-sealing cap, and you can see the difference in the two. All right, it has a small opening with an internal valve that regulates the flow of refrigerant. Once the cap is pierced, the dispensing tap can be completely removed from the can without releasing any unused gas. Each individual can has the ability for multiple use, benefiting both technicians and the environment. And so we're happy to have this self-sealing cap available because we understand how important it is to protect the environment and not have unused gas being emitted. And of course, it really saves the technicians in that they can continue to reuse the refrigerant. And so we have other refrigerants available, and we want to focus our attention on the 30-pound cylinders. We have the R134 30-pound cylinder. These are hydrocarbon blends, and they are used as alternatives to the high global warming potential refrigerants. They have extremely low global warming potential, and they are flammable in nature. The R22A 30-pound cylinder also is a hydrocarbon refrigerant blend with primary components including flammable substances such as propane and butane. In some cases, it may also contain small amounts of other hydrocarbons or a pine-scented odor. This refrigerant is also highly flammable, colorless, and is a colorless gas that is heavier than air. And some of the application for these particular refrigerants, we use them in light commercial AC units and, of course, in supermarkets and domestic homes and places like that. We use the 22A and the 134A 30-pound cylinder. We've also, were fortunate enough to have quite a few export to some of our neighboring islands like St. Vincent, Barbados, and also Dominica. So we want to highlight quickly here, we just have a few minutes, and so we want to highlight the next generation in a mobile AC refrigerant, and that's the R1234YF. So it's dubbed the new standard refrigerant being adopted by automakers around the world. And we want to see this as the future, but it's already present, but of course, future in terms of global implementation. I want to highlight the fact that this particular gas has been adopted since 2013. The first vehicle to be manufactured in 2013 was the Cadillac XTS. All right, since then it was widely introduced in 2015. It has a global warming potential of 4 instead of 1,430 for the R134A. So essentially, the R1234YF is more economically friendly. And you can see some of the features here highlighted. Ultra low global warming potential. It also meets the EPA's self-sealing valve requirement, and it's also available in 8-ounce can and 10-pound cylinders. All right, and some of the application for this particular refrigerant, and if you notice, we focus heavily on the mobile air conditioning sector. And so the vehicle application, there are automakers already, vehicles on the market using the 12 1234YF refrigerant. And you see the Subaru Forester, we have the Range Rover Sport, Mitsubishi Mirage, the Hyundai, Infiniti, the Peugeot, the Kia Optima, Sorento, and we see a Mazda CX-5 here as well. Also, there are 2017 models that includes the 1234YF refrigerant, and it's not limited to the Ford F-150. We have the Ford Focus, Honda Civic, the CR-V, Jeep Wrangler, all models of the Land Rover, Subaru Legacy, the Outback, and the Toyota Tacoma. And of course, as a retailer, we want to ensure that the service tools are made available as well to complement the refrigerants. And so you can expect to have the service tools available at our stores. All right, we also just want to highlight the fact that we've been working along with the NOU for a lot of years. And so you've seen, our CEO receiving an award. I think that was back in 2015. Yeah, 2014, 2015. And so we've been playing our part alongside the energy division to ensure that we have climate-friendly products available for all our citizens and stakeholders. Yeah, employee involvement, we've been part of these activities year after year. And so again, we're just happy, extremely happy to be a part of this celebration here today. So as we conclude, we just want to send a message, to send a clarion call for us to prepare for the future. Let's prepare for the R1234YF. Very soon, the R134A, as we know it, will be phased out by 2021. I think there are automakers in the US will stop manufacturing vehicles by 2021. By 2025, all vehicles manufactured in the US will be using the R1234YF refrigerant. And so we want to extend, again, our heartfelt thanks to the ministry, and we want to encourage everyone to work together as we seek to preserve the environment. All right? As a lead local supplier, it is our corporate responsibility in safeguarding the environment through products that is designed to do such. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peters, SPs International, and of course, the watch phrase there, safeguarding the environment. We can move on now to the next entity as part of the list of presenters today. Total Engineering Grenada. Founded in 1992, Total Engineering Grenada is a leader in the distribution, installation, and repairs of energy-efficient air conditioning units that increase comfort, conserve energy, and protect the environment with cleaner air. Total Engineering is located in Woodlands, St. George. Ladies and gents, please welcome the next presenter, Ms. Tonya Charles.
Thank you, Kenroy. Good morning, everybody. As he said, my name is Tonya Charles, and I'm the Marketing and Business Development Manager for Total Engineering Company Limited. Okay, just to give you an overview of what we're going to discuss, I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are, our brand, and we always like to include a factual statement that would put things into perspective, especially considering the theme for this year. I'm going to tell you about what we're doing in terms of green technology and our own efforts at the office. I'm going to also give you an idea as to what our customers say and the way forward. So in terms of who we are the authorized dealer for Mitsubishi air conditioning units, and we supply both residential and commercial units throughout the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We're also the first AC and refrigeration company on island to introduce a sanitizing, mold, and mildew removal service. In terms of what we offer, we provide high wall units, cassette units, seal and concealed, and VRF system. And as you can see, we have a wide range of units in terms of the size. So it's up to the size of your room. Our technician will go out, provide a free assessment, so we'll better be able to give you an appropriate cost. In terms of the brand, Mitsubishi Electric, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that we are the cheapest brand, because I would definitely be lying. What I could tell you is we have the best brand on the market. So our brand is of premium quality, and because of that, it's comfortably enough to offer you a 10-year warranty on the compressor, and well, that should be 7 years on parts. Our standard exceeds the 13 SAIR rating required by the industry, so that's in terms of our energy efficiency. And we have what you call an inverter-driven technology. So this technology uses the exact amount of energy required to cool the room, helping you to minimize on your electricity cost. And like I said, in terms of product quality, I do think it's safe to say that we are the best on the market. We have the longest record of product quality in the US, and we're ranked in the top 3 brands in terms of AC units. Us at Total Engineering, there are 3 things that we would like you to remember us by. The first is that we're the brand that gives back. So up to 1 week ago, we would have taken up an initiative to better be able to assist students to go back to school. One student was the niece of our late managing director, Mr. Orchid Henry, and the other was the daughter of Mr. Lawson Murray, who was a technician with us until he as well passed in January of this year. We're also the brand that recruits new graduates. We understand that when you're fresh from school, you do have the challenge of employers asking you for experience. So we don't hesitate to hire straight from TAMCC. We're actually committed to hire 1 student per year, and our most recent is here with us as well, Mr. Darrell Pear. So we provide the experience that these students need, the experience and the exposure. We also like to be known as the brand that's innovative. Like I said earlier, we were the first to recognize or to create a solution for an ongoing problem that we have in Grenada, which is the buildup of mold and mildew within your AC unit. So we use high pressure steam and an environmentally friendly solution to remove that buildup and prevent further spores. And here is our factual statement. It came from the Economic Times in 2019. Because of the combination of population growth, rising incomes, falling equipment prices, and urbanization, the number of air conditioning units installed globally is set to jump from about 1.6 billion today to 5.6 billion in the middle of the century. So we think that puts things into perspective, considering our theme and the need to have green technology. So in terms of the Mitsubishi units, our refrigerants, we still use the 410A, which is still considered environmentally friendly. However, our technicians are trained to use the 290 refrigerant. Mitsubishi does have plans to go over to the R32 very soon. I also mentioned the inverter technology previously, and it allows you to move just the right amount of output to match the exact requirements in the building. And then we have something called the intelligent power mode. So this is a type of green technology as well, and it allows for the precise control of power input, resulting in a significant reduction and greatly improved COPs. What that causes is that it allows us to use less equipment and less piping as well too. In terms of our own green efforts at the office, we try our best to change the way that our customers behave. Many times the customers would walk in and you hear them say, oh, they just want the room to be cool, they want to run it all night. So we try our best to guide them in terms of their own behavior. So we would always remind them to reduce the amount of time that they run the unit, ensure that all their doors and windows are closed so it allows the room to cool much faster, and always try to remind them to service their units on time. Now, in terms of our customers, I was speaking with one customer yesterday, and he is in charge of residential apartments. His name is Mr. Cleavon St. Louis. And his statement was that he changed to the Mitsubishi units a few years ago, and although his tenants are the ones who uses them, he could tell that there's a definite reduction in consumption. So there you have it from one of our customers. Now, how could we assist you? If you have a new construction, it's the perfect time to give us a call. Like I said, we send out our team to conduct a free assessment and tell you what's best for you. If you're relocating, our guys would also remove your AC, relocate and reinstall. If you have an office space that you want to be outfitted, or if you already have current units installed and you would like to maintain them, like I said before, we also do a sanitization service, mold and mildew removal. And sometimes we have persons who are thinking of getting an AC unit, they're not sure which direction to go. Just come in for a regular consultation, our team will be happy to assist. So in terms of the way forward for Mitsubishi and Total Engineering, like I said, we do intend to introduce the more environmentally friendly refrigerant, which is the R32. Our technicians are also trained to use both, and we had made it a point or a commitment to ensure that all our technicians get additional training as time goes by. And of course, within the office, we as well are committed to providing or continuing our green efforts. Now, if you'd like to contact us, we have some information here. We're actually located in Grand Anse, and our telephone number is 435-1004. You could also send us an email, info@totalengineeringgd.com, or visit our website, that's www.totalengineeringgd.com. You could also find us on social media. We have a presence on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So thank you so much. We're looking forward to working with you. And like we say at Total Engineering, your comfort is truly our business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. Thank you so much. Again, I have to mention the founder of this particular entity, Mr. Henry, the passion for what he pursued when he was alive, green cooling technology. Absolutely amazing. Also, I really want to make it a point of reference, the guidance I'm getting here from the presenting entities, to customers, the advice, not just selling, but actually giving the necessary advice for the efficient functioning of systems. And I'll just sort of re-emphasize, for the most part, one or two presenters mentioned it, getting feedback from customers using your products altogether. Testimonials, very, very important. Let people know the amazing results of the systems and the products altogether. So keep that on mind, those of you in the marketing departments. Marketing 101, I'll bill you for that, but that's all right. Very well. We want to move on to the last presenting business house, Viking Engineering. This company has truly been a trailblazer in this industry. I've had some direct experiences. But I want to give you a sense of the entity. Founded in 1985, Viking Engineering specializes in climate-friendly refrigeration equipment, which includes home refrigerators and freezers, walk-in freezers and coolers, and marine and vehicular refrigeration. The company designs, installs, services, and maintains all air conditioning equipment sold. Viking Engineering is located in Grandins Valley, St. George. Well, I'm going to invite now a family member for sure. Has to be Jamie St. John or Mara St. John, but one of two will present for us this time around.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mara St. John, and I'm one of the junior mechanical engineers at Viking Engineering. So first, I'll give you a summary about Viking. We are an HVACR design, installation, and maintenance company. We were founded by Mr. Paul St. John, who was a design and project engineer at Carrier. We were founded in 1985, so we are actually celebrating 35 years this year. We also are the original Carrier dealers in Grenada, and now the dealer for the Toshiba Carrier Corporation, with Toshiba being our main brand. So the objectives of this presentation: first, I'll discuss the meaning of green cooling to us, the need for green cooling, the advancements that have been made in air conditioning technology and to refrigerants to achieve green cooling. What do we do other than what previously mentioned to achieve green cooling, and also I'll introduce our Toshiba air conditioning equipment. So what is green cooling? Green cooling means providing air-conditioned or cool air whilst considering environmental, economic, and social factors. The need for green cooling: as we know, outside is getting hotter, and that is because of global warming and having the ozone layer being depleted. Also, high energy costs and high material costs, which means more money and also greater depletion of our natural resources. So the advancements that have been made in RAC technology: we had the creation of the inverter technology, which was invented in 1981 by Toshiba. We've had the creation of VRF, invented by Daikin, which provides the ability for multiple indoor units or zones to operate on the same system. And of course, the creation of greener refrigerants such as R410A, R32, and R290, which all have limitations, such as they're highly flammable. Also, we have to consider length of tubing, and also that's it. Sorry. So what do we do at Viking to achieve green cooling? So the manufacturers are doing their part. What about us? So we consider green cooling through air conditioning system and layout design for buildings. We also do that through system selection, so selecting the right type of system for the application, and of course the most suitable brand. We do that through the promotion of air conditioning design during construction. A lot of buildings are not designed for AC, so you end up using a lot more materials, which is waste. And of course, choosing the right products and equipment for maintenance. So as I said, our main brand, the main brand we associate with is Toshiba, and we provide a lot of highly energy efficient equipment for residential, light commercial, and heavy commercial applications. So I'll now play a video of the new system that is being launched by Toshiba.
Profoundly understanding your real needs, Toshiba has searched for the finely found 7 senses of smartness in air conditioning, which we have innovatively developed into the 7 most advanced technologies from SMMS 7. What's the secret of the SMMS 7? Higher energy efficiency, with increased energy efficiency by up to 26% thanks to the newly improved inverter twin rotary compressor, heat exchanger and accumulator. The SMMS7 proves to be one of the highest performing air conditioning in the market. Environmentally oriented. More environmentally oriented with more than 20% refrigerant reduction. The world can be cool and comfortable together. Space saving and lightweight. The outdoor unit of the SMMS7 has been redesigned into a much smaller size with less than 88 kilograms of weight, enabling you to save up to an incredible 24% of footprint, providing more space for more activities you hadn't been capable of before, such as rooftop gardening, recreation, or setting up as a rental zone for business matters. Wider ambient operation. Enduring any condition, the new SMMS7 can operate under an extended temperature range of up to 52 degrees Celsius, which is 6 degrees higher than the previous model. Don't worry about the heat outside when you can get cool and comfortable inside. High reliability. The high-quality components of the SMMS7 are specially designed with cutting-edge technology to offer outstanding hardness, resistance, and protection from lizards or other small animals to ensure higher reliability. Design flexibility. With the increased diversity of installation by up to 200%, you can connect the SMMS7 outdoor unit with total indoor unit capacity at double the savings. Thus, save more cost and space on installation. Easy installation and maintenance. Smaller size means less time and expense. The redesigned outdoor unit helps save more time and expense on the installation procedure. Moreover, space inside the machine area smartly contributes to more secure and easier maintenance work. Large amounts of pleasure sometimes begin with little things like coolness and comfort from the Mini SMMS7. We have thought thoroughly to attain your actual needs in 7 senses and smartly developed into 7 most advanced technologies in air conditioning to bring you the ultimate comfort. Space saving and lightweight. Smartly developed to achieve optimal use of space. This lightweight and compact outdoor unit is composed of improved components. The Mini SMMS7 is perfect for residences with small balconies and can be easily installed with 25% less footprint, providing more space with greater freedom for your building's well-organized exterior. Wider ambient operation. Stands tough no matter the climate and operates perfectly in temperatures as high as 50 degrees Celsius. Higher energy efficiency. Boasting superior quality with higher energy efficiency as part load operation of most work conditions. Relax in the cool assurance of saving money through the Mini SMMS7's extreme efficiency. Design flexibility. An outdoor unit can connect up to 6 indoor units with various designs, allowing greater flexibility and creativity for room styling. High reliability. Both internal electronic parts and outside materials are highly protected against any possible malfunctions, such as short circuit or damage from animals, to ensure optimal reliability and long-lasting performance. environmentally oriented. With the newly improved condenser, the amount of refrigerant used in the Mini SMMS7 is significantly reduced. Also, the environmentally oriented new refrigerant enables you to love the world better. Smart Control. Enjoy a life of ease with Smart Device Control Interface, a smart application that empowers simple function control of indoor unit via smart devices, inside, outside, or wherever you are.
Thank you. If you have any questions, anybody watching, you can contact us at 444-4934 or at stjohnpaul49@gmail.com. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The last presenting entity there, Viking Engineering Company, Grenada Limited, Mara St. John, the representative. Of course, before Viking, we saw presentations from Total Engineering Grenada, SP's International, Modern Electrical Solution, Greens Concept, and Cooling Tech Limited. Thank you all for your presentations. All right, so this is where the session is going to get interactive 101. We will, of course, be accepting feedback from our virtual audience, those via Zoom, as well as WhatsApp. The number for WhatsApp, 473-420-1456. 473-420-1456. So get your questions in, get your comments in. Now is your opportunity to ask any of the presenting organizations a question or two. Of course, you can also feel free to express a comment relative to what you heard today. So we'd like to invite a representative of each of the entities, Cooling Tech Limited, followed by Greens Concept. We invite you to take a seat at the front. We move on to SP's International, Total Engineering Grenada, and Viking Engineering. All of you, thank you so much. And of course, Modern Electrical Solution via Zoom. We've heard quite a bit today. Companies blazing the trail relative to green cooling technology. So they are here to answer your questions. Get them in. Again, the WhatsApp number, 473-420-1456. And of course, you can also send in your questions and your comments via Zoom. Thank you so much for joining this session here at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. The Green Cooling Technology Roadshow and World Ozone Day Celebrations 2020. Of course, World Ozone Day celebrated every year, the 16th of September. All right. So the representatives are forward, and so we are ready. We have a question coming in via Zoom for SP's International. The question is R1234YF really safe as R134A?
Yes, I can confidently say it's really safe, and I believe the person asking the question, the operative word here is really, so I'm playing back on that word and, to say that it is really safe, and again, safe relative to the fact that if you have, or once you have certified technicians handling the product, then of course it is safe. It is not as flammable as the hydrocarbon. It's an HFO refrigerant, and so it is as safe to use as the R134A.
All right. Thank you very much. SBs International. We have a question coming in to us from another viewer. What are the main benefits of green cooling technology? We'd like to ask Viking this one.
Green technology more or less comprises of, to me, 100% proper design. It does not just install an air conditioner to cool a building. It has to be well sorted out and engineered in terms of the air quality, air changes, and so forth, to give you a proper bill of health, clean air, a clean environment. And our machines are R410A. It's not as the global warming we know is pretty high compared to R290 and R32, but it's a safe gas. It does not deplete the ozone. And as you see, Toshiba is constantly concentrating on energy savings, and the new machines are incredible. We recently installed a few of them, and we're very happy with the outcome of the system. So we are working together with the protocols so we can maintain a friendly response with the customers.
All right, thank you very much. A question coming in for Cooling Tech Limited. Are there any concessions or incentives for consumers wanting to purchase or change over to green technology?
Yes, in fact, we do have our green tech initiative, which was launched in 2010. We have now been updated in 2019 to offer incentive to our customers who wish to transfer from either R22 and R48 to R32 systems. And you in fact are allowed to get incentive as much as $200 per ton of system reviews. What incentive is this?
Not hearing. So not hearing.
Okay, very well. Okay, we continue the conversation. Of course, we're getting feedback from members of, tuning in via Zoom, members of the audience, the virtual audience. Also, we're taking questions via WhatsApp, 473-420-1456. A question coming in now for Green's concept. How can I tell if the equipment I currently have is using gases that are ozone depleting or ozone friendly?
The equipment that you use, most of the equipment are labeled. So the label on the system will tell you exactly what refrigerant you're using. So for example, the R410A, the 410A will have the label of R410A. Our system, which is the R290, also has that the system is using R290 as a refrigerant.
A question coming in now for Total Engineering Grenada. This person asks, how can I test the efficiency of my current equipment?
Well, currently we have equipment that we could test your energy consumption, and tell you whether you will be saving energy or you'll be consuming high energy.
The mass.
The mass.
Look at the camera. See, just look at the camera.
Yeah, I was saying that we have equipment, or we could give you energy audits on your unit, so you could know if you're using an equipment that is using high energy, or if you are using less energy and type of equipment that you're using.
Okay, all right, very well. We have a question coming in for two entities, Modern Electrical Solution and Green's Concept. And that question is, what arrangements are there for shipping to other Caribbean countries? Let's begin with Green's Concept.
So Green's Concept have sometime last year shipped to 2 Caribbean countries, namely Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. So we are already doing that. If there's someone out there who, maybe in the region, who is looking for a unit, they can contact Green Concept, and we can arrange the shipping of the units to you. It can be by boat, or when we shipped to Ghana, it was by airlines.
All right, thank you very much. So let's cross now to Modern Electrical Solution. A reminder of the question, what arrangements are there for shipping to other Caribbean countries? Please unmute your mic if your mic is muted. Modern Electrical Solution. Yes. Did you hear the question, or like me to repeat for you? Okay, very well. Proceed.
We can arrange the shipment to wherever you would like it shipped to, so whether it may be by air freight or by boat again. If you're doing a large shipment, we can arrange it so that you can have the shipment come directly from the manufacturer. So instead of it coming from the manufacturer to us, if it's a large shipment, it can come directly from the manufacturer, and it will be straight to you, like to save on the cost. So we can arrange that. So it all depends on what your needs are.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We have a question coming in for Viking Engineering. And that question is, how do I go about getting an assessment of my current equipment and whether I should change over?
All right. Normally, you can contact Mara or Jamie, and they will come and do an assessment and do a proper selection for your equipment required. And we'll go through the details with you and finalize the arrangements, etc. And we normally keep machines in stock, so the turnaround is pretty short.
All right, and just to find out from Viking, while we are at it, relative to the turnaround time, you mentioned short. Could you give us a specific timeline?
Can you repeat that?
Relative to the turnaround time you mentioned, Could you be specific relative to that?
Okay, like for instance, once the customer has agreed for the installation, normally we will have the job the next day. We normally have machines in stock. So based on the quantity of machines, probably could be 2 days, 3 days to complete the installation and the commissioning of the equipment.
Okay, so talking about, just roughly, preliminarily, 48 to 72 hours, that sort of thing. Of course, I suspect as well there will be certain dynamics in the works which will perhaps dictate whether it's sooner or a bit later. But that's the sort of rough thing. Very well. Thank you so much, Mr. St. John. We have a question coming in now for Coolant Tech Limited. Are there any safety concerns with this new technology which you offer?
At present, we offer the R32 range of products. And in fact, we have trained all technicians to be fully compliant with that product as well as R290. In addition to that, also, our assessment we do checks to make sure that the system installed is inherently safe. In the event of a loss of gas, it will not create any explosive constraint. Also, R32 is also a lower flammability gas as well. It's a pretty safe product.
Okay. We have, okay, so we'd want to get your response again, Coolant Tech representative. Again, the question, are there any safety concerns with this new technology? Go again.
Okay. The product we presently, or the gas we presently market is the R32 range of gas. And it's in fact a very safe gas. It's a low combustion flammability gas. And our technicians are trained both to use this gas as well as R290 as well. And in our assessment, we check the volume of the space to ensure that in the event of a loss, the mixture that's released doesn't create a combustible mixture. It's inherently safe. So we are very confident in this product, and it's widely applied throughout the world at this point in time.
All right, thank you very much, Coolant Tech, for that. We have a broad question coming in, and any member of the panel can take it. How easy is it to maintain this new type of system? Yeah, it's a three-part question, so we can begin with you, Coolant Tech.
Okay. As part of our policy, we actually offer a comprehensive maintenance program for all our customers. In fact, after every install, we offer a free service after the first 3 months, followed by an offer to do a maintenance program for every customer. And as part of that as well, we educate them as well in best practice to ensure that they keep those systems well maintained and safe to operate.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. Another question has come in to us. Any information on whether the different electrical cycles affect the efficiency of the equipment?
The systems we use are all inverter-based systems. As a result, the frequency incoming does not impact directly on the efficiency of the systems because these are all inverter-based systems. And also, we actually size them based on demand. So we have a team that sizes it adequately for the application, so we don't undersize or oversize the system to impact the efficiency.
Right, and this person went on to sort of qualify what he is talking about. For example, 50 hertz versus 60 hertz. But of course, you started to answer it. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. We have another question coming in, and this one, obviously, but this person is asking, are there trained technicians locally? And this is quite obvious that there are, well, for the most part. But should any one of you on the panel want to respond to further cement this person's question, feel free.
Okay, I think I'm going to answer that. There are a number of trained technicians in Grenada, especially for the R290 units. Last year, we had a 2-week training seminar by a German trainer who came in and trained all or most of the technicians there on the safe use of R290 as a refrigerant. So these guys are well qualified to use those refrigerants.
And also in terms of training, part of our policy at Cooling Tech is to do continuous training. So we have a training lab that we train our technicians both on R290 and R32, but also I received training in Germany on both gases as well, and we continuously do training for all our technicians to make sure that they operate to the highest standard in the industry.
Thank you very much, Cooling Tech, and before him, Green's Concept, because we're just about to ask a question coming in from a particular member of the audience relative to refresher training. So I'm very pleased you were able to jump forward with a response to that. Another question coming in this time for SPs International: how often should maintenance servicing be done?
Is that really relating to changing your AC systems in your vehicle? Yes. Okay, for the new 1234YF, this has a lifespan for about 3 years or so, up to about 60,000 miles. All right, but what we currently use in our vehicle, that could go on for even more than 2 or 3 years. But there are indicators which will suggest that your refrigerant is low. And of course, once your refrigerant is low, it's an indicator to top up. Yeah, of course, every single day we have different car users coming to our stores buying the 1348 gas. And so in discussing with them, they will indicate to us that, they've been running their vehicles for, maybe the last 2 or 3 years before they would have, seen that their vehicle need gas. But of course, once there isn't a leak in your vehicle, I see maintenance not coming in, within 3 or 4 years.
Okay. A question coming in for Total Engineering Grenada. What are some easy-to-do home maintenance techniques?
You'll see to clean your filters regularly. Make sure that there is nothing around your condensing unit that could prevent it from proper air circulation. Washing the condensers. I think proper use of your AC with the environment. Maybe sweeping while the AC is on, and I should say regular maintenance on your unit. Prevent anything that could keep your unit from functioning properly.
Okay, very well. Thank you. A question coming in to us for Viking Engineering. What are customers saying about your systems?
Well, we have a few customers that have saved as much as 50% on the energy bill yearly. And just recently, a guy shouted at me, "St. John, I can go to the grocery stores now, man." That's a nice statement. He has extra money to buy groceries, paying less electricity. So it's a pleasant thing to hear that a customer telling you that he's very satisfied.
And while we're at it, can you give us a sense of, this person is asking a follow-up, about what percentage of saving can a system offer?
Well, as I'll say 50%, slightly more, above 50. We have customers who've been paying a particular hotel $1.2 million a year for his establishment. And we changed over his system into Toshiba inverters, and he was saving $400,000, brought down his light bill yearly to $800,000, and he was one very satisfied customer. So we have good reports from our customers in terms of energy savings. And like we all know, the Japanese technology surpassed many others, and their information is more or less gospel. About what they publish in the data is exactly what the machine does. And like you heard earlier on, that they have a new design, seven senses, which has improved the reliability of the equipment. Because we used to have lots of problems with insects, like rodent or lizards will enter the machines and short circuit the boards. Well, that's taken care of now. The boards are coated to prevent any sort of short circuits. So the reliability and sustainability of these machines has improved tremendously.
Okay. We have a question, a follow-up question. Can the homeowner, him or herself, do that maintenance?
It's risky at times. Like, for instance, when you're washing a condensing unit, you have to ensure that the power is off. And it's good to know where these electronic boards are, because based on how you may approach the washing of a unit, water could enter into the system and damage the machines. So you can't tell a customer to go wash his unit. It could be risky.
Right.
But the cleaning of the filters and so is much easier and simple. You could wash your filters every 2 weeks if you want, just to get it as clean as possible. And the rest you'll have to get your service maintenance guy, because you don't want to tell a customer to go clean his coil. He could damage it or hurt himself. It's very hazardous doing things that you're not aware of. So cleaning the filters is fine, but washing these machines, I would rather you ask the technicians to give you a service.
Yes.
For your health.
Mm-hmm. And in all fairness to the individual, because the person asked, can the homeowner, him or herself, do that maintenance, or would you have to call the technician to wash or clean filter? So
a filter is simple, it's easy to do that, but washing a condenser could be risky. So I would say it's better you be safe and call your service provider so he can give you a proper service. Because now with this pandemic, everything, before it used to be water you use all the time to wash your machine. But now you have to use a lot of sanitizers, coil cleaners to get rid of the mold and so that may stick onto the metal. So it's a lot more involved now than before.
Okay. A question for Green's concept. This might be, and I invite you to respond to it, but of course you might want to get some more specifics, because this is very platonic. But the person asks, what might it cost to air condition a 2-bedroom home? See you chuckle there.
It's quite a broad question, really. The engineers will have to do an assessment on the rooms and then make their recommendation, and then we can decide what unit we can get for those rooms. But to just sit here and answer the question is sort of impossible, because a proper assessment needs to be done to size the unit for that particular room.
And there's a follow-up. Have you ever sized a 2-bedroom home, for example, relative to what you do?
Yes, of course. We've done 2-bedroom homes, we've done 3-bedroom homes, we've done 4-bedroom homes. So it's something that we do every day in terms of installation and assessment.
Right. And so given that you've sized a 2-bedroom home, can you give us an estimated cost, for example?
Again, 2 bedrooms, there are different sizes of bedrooms. There are different sizes. So
relative to any one of the 2 bedrooms, you may have sized.
okay, so I can give you an example, for example, but it was not specific to that particular customer. So a 2-bedroom home with 12,000 BTU units, 12,000 BTU units, well, at the moment we don't have any 12,000 units in stock, 12,000 BTUs in the R290s, but when we had in stock, we were selling the 12,000 BTU units at $2,500 per unit. So that's $5,000 for the 2 units, plus the installation price cost of $900. So it's $5,900. But that's a ballpark figure because, as I said, we need to do a proper assessment in terms of size in the room to make sure that they need a 12,000 BTU unit, or they could require 18,000 BTU unit. So that is sort of difficult to say, or a 9,000. So it's a broad question.
All right, very well. Just as we begin to conclude this extraordinary conversation here, Green Cooling Technology, as part of the Green Cooling Technology Roadshow and World Ozone Day Celebrations 2020, we'd like to give an opportunity to each of you to make a brief closing statement. Please be brief, as much as you can. We begin with Cooling Tech Limited.
I just want to give the appreciation for organizing this event, to recognize today as a special day and our contribution as well that we have made over the years. And we encourage all our customers to want to think of air conditioning, think of cooling tech, because we have maintained and continue to be the leader in the industry in providing innovation as well as energy efficient solutions for the country.
We move on to Total Engineering Grenada.
Well, at least we would like to say thanks to the Ozone unit and the entities for making us a part of that project today. And we at Total Engineering, as we say, our comfort is your business. Sorry, your comfort is our business. And we're looking forward to doing business with whoever in the future. Thank you.
Your comfort is our business, like the song of that. Let's move on now to Viking Engineering.
We'd like to thank all of our customers out there and the Ministry of Energy. We appreciate you getting us involved, and we're looking forward to working with you today and in the future. But we also would like to get something from the Ministry of Energy. We need help in terms of duties on these high performance machine. It has to be looked at by the Institute in terms of assisting in the duties, so we can give the customers a little more for their money. But it's kind of tough on the HVAC system when we have to pay so much duties on these machines that's coming from Japan and Thailand. So we need help. I mean, the electrical arena is getting concessions on LED lights, which is reasonable, inexpensive, but these VRF machines are very costly. So anything they can do to help, we'll appreciate it. This way, we can assist our customers with a better cost and more efficient machines, because the higher the efficiency is, more costly the machine would be. So again, Mr. Smith, anything you can do to help the HVAC companies, we appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. SP's International.
Okay, at SP's International, we are happy to be positioned as one of the leading suppliers and distributors of ozone-friendly refrigerants right here in Grenada. And we see our refrigerants as the software, to fuel up or to cool, the particular hardware, whether it be mobile AC systems or refrigerators or light commercial equipment. And so we just thankful for the opportunity to make our mark and to, we like our brand to innovation. And so we want you to look to us, to consider us as the solution for your cooling needs.
The one before the last, Green's concept.
We just want to thank the Ozone unit for inviting us here to take part in this roadshow today. It's a noble gesture and we really appreciate it. At Green's Concept, we offer cooling at an affordable cost and also environmental friendly. And in addition to that, we also offer the refrigerants, which I didn't mention in my presentation, but I'm just going to mention it now. So we also offer R290 refrigerant for sale. We want to say again, thank you, and have a pleasant day to all the virtual listeners and viewers.
Thank you very much. And the last presenter, Modern Electrical Solution.
So I would just like to say thank you to the organizers of this event, the Ozone Unit, GIZ. Thank you for having us being a part of this roadshow event today, whereas we got to share the information with the public to raise awareness on the matter of green cooling solution and what steps we can take, or steps the general public can take to, educating consumers on what they can do to reduce their energy consumption and so on, to kind of help with the problem of global warming that we're facing today. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And thanks as well to all of the members of the virtual audience, those of you, of course, via the Zoom platform, those of you who haven't participated by way of WhatsApp. Thank you all. At this juncture, we'd like to hear from the organizers, and so we invite now Mr. Leslie Smith. He's the National Ozone Officer. He'll bring some brief remarks, and of course, thank you all for today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremony. And before I deliver what we may call the official closing exercises or thank you, I would just like to highlight a few issues as regards to sustainable cooling. And I would like to start off by saying that, with a quote from Inga Anderson, the Executive Director of UNEP, who said that energy efficiency, renewable energy, and natural cooling solutions must be explored as we phase out HFCs. And further to that, I would like to quote an excerpt from the International Energy Agency publication entitled The Future of Cooling, which puts everything into proper perspective with regards to where we are today with cooling. And the report says that the global stock of air conditioners in buildings will grow to 5.6 billion by 2050, up from 1.6 billion today. And this is the really important part here, which amounts to 10 new ACs sold every second for the next 30 years. And that is instructive in many regards. Similarly, in Grenada, we are seeing some trends with respect to the application of air conditioning. And so there has been a rapid, significant growth in the purchase and installation of air conditioners in Grenada. And this growth is driven by steady economic growth and increase of income by most persons, lower operation and maintenance costs of air conditioners these days, some moderate population growth, but more so by the rise in global atmospheric temperatures. It's pretty much hot out there and people need to be cool, and so there's a need for air conditioning. But there's less than 10% of households in Grenada that has air conditioners. From a national perspective, I just want to bring to your attention some key figures that is driving the whole process of cooling. From a report that was done in 2013, 64% of the total national electricity that was produced was consumed by refrigeration and air conditioning. And the majority of that was used in the hotel sector for unitary air conditioning, 48% of that total of 64%. So it already clearly demonstrates that air conditioning is consuming a whole lot of the electricity that is produced. Further, in 2015, approximately 29% of the total greenhouse gas emission in Grenada was due to air conditioning. So air conditioning through inefficient appliances and through the refrigerants is contributing approximately 1/3 of the total greenhouse gas emissions in Grenada, and that's an alarming amount. Unitary air conditioning, which is the most popular type of air conditioning, which we call the split ACs, accounts for about 55% of that. Therefore, the refrigeration and air conditioning sector holds a very huge mitigation potential if Grenada is to achieve its targets under its nationally determined contributions according to the Paris Accord. Significant to note is that through energy efficiency, we can achieve 68% of the target, and through the change out in the refrigerants to more environmentally sound refrigerant, a 38% share of those emissions. So if you can see the graph we have to the right here, it shows you the blue line, which is business as usual, if there are no actions. The red line shows you if we only change out the refrigerants to low global warming potential refrigerants, what our emissions would be. And the line to the bottom shows you a combination of changing out the refrigerants and introducing more energy efficient air conditioning appliances, what our GHG emissions would be by the year 2050. So we need to employ a combination of both factors, the refrigerant and the energy efficiencies of these appliances. With regards to energy efficiency, I can let you know that the Bureau of Standards, together with a number of stakeholders, we have already established or completed our work on minimum energy performance standards for refrigerators, and we are in the process of completing the minimum energy performance standards for air conditioning units. And these we hope to be established in 2021. So with regards to the question posed by Mr. St. John, with reference to incentives that government can provide, we need to first of all have these standards in place that can benchmark what is considered to be an energy efficient appliance, and then be able to apply these fiscal incentives to those types of equipment. So we are in the process now of establishing the minimum energy performance standards for air conditioning units, and once that has become law, according to the Bureau of Standards, we can now use that to benchmark what is an energy efficient air conditioner and apply the necessary fiscal incentives to that. Quite correct. In this part of the world, we use the EER, or even better, we use the COP, the coefficient of performance, which would take everything into consideration. Thank you. So I just want to say there are two things I want us to remember from today's presentation. One is that cooling is no longer a luxury because of the high global atmospheric temperatures. We need comfort cooling. And secondly, we must get cooling right. Sustainable cooling is not only about the equipment, but there are a number of factors that must be taken into consideration. And we heard some of them from Viking Engineering. So we must first of all have the policies and regulations in place to avoid or to reduce the need for cooling in buildings. We must set energy policies that supports energy efficiency, minimum energy performance standards, temperature limits in buildings, etc., those policies must be in place to drive the process. We must also look at increasing the thermal efficiency of buildings, from the design, from the orientation, the building envelope. We need to look at cool roofs. We need to look at the airflow in the buildings. So from the design concept, that has to be taken into consideration when we're speaking about sustainable or green cooling. And then we need to look at urban planning, green spaces in our cities, things like district cooling, where we can set up a cooling infrastructure that serves an entire community rather than have individual cooling on every building. So urban planning has to be put in place. Incentives for behavioral changes towards less use of cooling and greater interest in energy efficient cooling. So at what temperatures we set the air conditioners? Do we need air conditioning in some areas? Or do we just want to use air conditioners? How do we get people to make those behavioral changes to adapt to cooling needs? Those have to be in place if we talk in green cooling. And then we have to look at smart investments and technology upgrades. We are aware of the inverters that have really revolutionized energy consumption in ACs, but we also need to look at other things in the air conditioner, the heat exchangers. We need to look at the microchannels that are used, the type of compressors, etc., to get acceptable levels for energy efficiency in these appliances. And then we also need to look at the new financing and business models. We heard about cooling as a service that is now being offered. We need to get our financial institutions to offer a package that will encourage people to go into energy efficient and sustainable cooling. And of course, we need to train and develop the capacity of our technicians to adequately handle the new and emerging technologies, particularly in regards to safety, in terms of flammability and toxicity of those new refrigerants that are being used. And finally, and maybe even very importantly as well, is the need for public education and awareness that can be used to inform the end users as to the correct choices that are needed to be made in purchasing air conditioning equipment. So it's not just about the air conditioning equipment that has been presented today, but it's a holistic approach taking into account all of those factors I've just mentioned here, from the policy to the public awareness and education that constitute to the package of green cooling. Finally, I would like to say thank you to all those persons who have made this session today possible. I would first of all like to say a special thank you to the Honorable Minister with responsibility for the National Ozone Unit, the Honorable Gregory Bowen, for delivering the feature address and the official Ozone Day message. I'd also like to thank the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry who has provided invaluable support to the National Ozone Unit and for our guidance in this process. I'd also like to thank the staff at the National Ozone Unit and the Energy Division in particular for the support that they have provided. The management of the Grenada Trade Center for allowing us the use of the facility and for very good facilities as well. I would like to say thank you to them. To our consultant and her team who has been responsible for the event management, Ms. Petra Charles Joseph and her team, we say a special thank you. We'd also like to say a special thank you, and even most importantly, to you, the companies and the presenters who are here today, who has really made this a very memorable event. Your presentations were very informative and instructive, and the manner in which you answered the questions that have been posed to you, again, provided additional information and clarity. I would also like to, but last but not least, thank our colleagues, GIZ, who have been partnering with us for several years now and have been a lead on this particular initiative through the SPODS project. And they have also been involved with other projects like the C4 project. So I want to say a special thank you to Marian and the entire team from GIZ, and to our colleagues out there in Germany who have assisted us in several ways, and to UNIDO, also to the European Commission who has provided funding for this particular event. We say a special thank you. To our Master of Ceremony, Mr. Kellen Batiste, who has done an outstanding job as usual, and I was sharing with him some of the comments that we received via the Zoom platform on how satisfied people were with his presentation and his handling of today's ceremony. So once again, I say thanks to all for making this event the memorable one it has been. It's our feature event for Ozone Day celebrations. And so we want to thank you again, one and all, for contributing to this event. We say Ozone for life, 35 years of ozone layer protection. Thank you and good morning to all. Good afternoon to all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. All right, so we've come to the end of the Green Cooling Technology Roadshow and, of course, World Ozone Day Celebrations 2020 right here at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. Listen, it's been an absolute delight. You know, sometimes you go to an event and you want more because there's so much information, so much education and inspiration. And so I am very much thankful for this opportunity. And let me say this, just a quick 30 seconds. Spice Production, this is so opportune, Mr. Smith. Spice Productions is rolling out a massive social media production, which is actually making provision for green cooling technology. So there will be content on green cooling technology relative to this production. So it is so opportune that I am here on behalf of Spice Productions. All right, so thank you, everybody. It's an absolute delight. Thank you to TNR Communications. Look for it, Elevate coming. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Roy Batiste.
Just before you leave, participants, we would like to take a group photo. We have T-shirts here for those who have not gotten T-shirts yet that we would like you to put on to have the group photo before you leave. Thank you so much. And I think we also have some snack boxes at the back for those of you who like to have some refreshments.